Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to our Infosyte webinar session. I am Kosila, your host for today's webinar, Power BI for Business Insights. So I noticed that a lot of you have joined earlier on before it was even 10:30. Thank you so much for the excitement, for the eagerness of joining us earlier, okay? So before we start, I just want to make sure everybody is comfortable. Grab your coffee, tea, energy juice, whatever that keeps your attention at 120% because I will be needing your attention and focus for the next 1 hour because this session, I can guarantee, will be packed with value, especially for the ones with career involving interpreting data with visualization and coming up with reports with, of course, zero coding involved. Okay, so for the ones who have just joined us, welcome, welcome. Please do scan the QR code that is being displayed on the screen for attendance recording purpose, okay? All right, I'll be moving on to the objective of this webinar. Of course, we want to build awareness about what is Power BI, and we also want to spark the curiosity to the many possibilities that you may have not tried yet with this automation tool. And of course, we want to encourage the adoption of this marvelous tool to ease your role with data analyzing and extracting reports. Because I know it can get a bit, overwhelming and tedious at times. So the key points that I hope everyone is able to take away by the end of this webinar is that you are able to have a clearer picture on what Power BI is all about and how this tool can help with automation and reduce the repetitive work process, okay? All right. Okay, so now that you all know me, I have introduced myself earlier. My name is Kosila. So I would like to get to know the rest of you a bit, okay? So you can leave your comments in the chat box and I will, of course, read it and we can discuss on that, okay? So are there any previous webinar attendees here? The ones who have joined our previous Infosyte webinars, because this is so far our 6th webinar that we've had so far this year. Anyone who has attended our webinar before? Okay, let me just have a look at the chat box. Okay, I guess majority of you here are new. Okay, that's great. Okay, I'm so excited to see new faces. First time joining. Rafiq Hassan, first time joining. Okay, that's great. I hope you're able to get a lot of information by the end of this webinar regarding Power BI, yeah? Okay, so my next question is, how did you all find out about this webinar? Ooh, I see plenty of you are saying it's your first time joining. Okay, that's great, that's great. I would love to know, how did you all find out about this webinar? Okay, found out on Facebook, WhatsApp, okay. I see there's plenty of social media being involved here. Info from email, Facebook, boss, my boss. I am pretty sure that your boss had really good intention when they did this, okay? I'm pretty sure that they wanted you to leave with plenty of knowledge about what Power BI is all about, okay? Okay, plenty of you all from Facebook. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. Now, my next question is, what motivated you to join this webinar? Besides, being forced by your boss, is there any other reason that made you want to join our webinar today? To enhance your understanding. Okay, okay, that's great. I feel like maybe there could be some of you who already know what Power BI is, and some of you who may not know at all what Power BI is. Maybe it was your first time hearing of Power BI. It's okay. This session today is going to be for everyone, regardless of your experience level or your knowledge level. Okay, don't worry about it. So Mr. Ganesh said want to learn how to create dashboards, and then Juan said been using no code to get new knowledge because right now I'm taking course learning Power BI. Oh, okay, all right. Is it an online course? To refresh and enhance skill. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful, everyone. I am very happy to hear you all. Online course. Okay, maybe next up after this, you might be interested in enrolling directly at Infosyte, and maybe you can learn more with our guest speaker. Our guest speaker will be the one who will be giving the okay program. I see. Okay. Fun fact, I'm also a K Youth program graduate person, I guess. Okay, so moving on to my next question. Please do comment how familiar are you with data analysis tools? Maybe you have used tools besides Power BI or anything besides that. Please go ahead and let me know. Or maybe you're currently using it in your workplace software. Oh, using Excel. Okay, I feel like that is quite the norm software that is used. Besides Excel, could there be anything else? Excel dashboard. Okay. SharePoint. Okay, same. SharePoint too. Power App. Okay. I see many different softwares, but no one has mentioned Power BI so far. So I guess you guys have attended the right webinar. Okay. So all right, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and opinions. I really appreciate it. Now, I would like to just move on to a bit of a sharing session regarding Yayasan Peneraju. Have you all heard of this scholarship that is being offered by Yayasan Peneraju? If you have, please go ahead and do let me know. Okay, I see a few of you have mentioned yes. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. So for the ones who are not aware about it, Yayasan Peneraju scholarship is basically offered to the ones who are Bumiputra citizens, and they must be 16 years old and above. So this government body will help to offer allocate levy for the Bumiputra students to upskill in whatever industry it may be. So good news is Infosyte is an approved learning and training institute, basically LT. We offer almost 60 plus IT courses. So Power BI data analyst is one of it. So if you guys by any chance are interested, please do go ahead and contact us. Maybe you would like to know more regarding this. Maybe you want to know whether if basically any inquiries that you may have, please do DM us. The number is right there, 012-641-2000. And for the ones who are wondering, what about us non-Boomi students? What about non-Boomi attendees? No worries, Infosyte has got you all. It's so wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so without further ado, the mic is all yours. Go ahead, Ms. Jolie.
Thank you, Kosila. I'll share my screen for now.
Okay, sure.
Okay, are we seeing it?
Yeah, go ahead. I can see it.
Nice. Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Power BI with Business Insights. My name is Jolie, and before we start, I want to thank you all for taking the time out today and joining us. Your interest already shows one important thing, which is you recognize the value of data and you want to make better use of it in your work. Now, we all know our work days are overflowing with data. And while the amount of data has exploded, the way many teams juggle and manage it hasn't really changed in years. For a lot of people, reporting still means you're switching between multiple Excel files, copy and pasting numbers, checking formulas, and rebuilding the same things month after month. Doesn't help when the data itself is already massive, which can feel overwhelming and confusing. So traditional reporting is quite repetitive. It's time consuming. It distracts us from what we could be doing. spotting risks, uncover opportunities, and making more confident data-backed decisions. And that's exactly why we're here today, to check out an alternative way of reporting. So over the next few minutes, I will show you what Power BI can look like and how it can transform the way you work with data. We'll explore some of its most powerful features, so from connecting directly to your data sources, to building interactive dashboards, to sharing insights embedded in teams. So think of this whole thing as like a guided introduction of what can be done when you move from static spreadsheets to a dynamic, more insight-driven solution. And by the end of our session, you'll start to understand how Power BI can give you back time, reduce manual work, and build more confidence in the decisions you make every day. So again, thank you for being here, and we'll get started. So what is Power BI? In plain English, this is a tool that brings all of your data together. It lets you see and interact with your data in graphs, in charts, in visuals, instead of just pure numbers and text. So think about the challenges we talked about earlier: repetitive reporting, outdated numbers, too much time spent preparing instead of analyzing. Power BI tackles those head on. We have a few key features that they provide. First thing we have is data connectivity and automation. So thanks to its extensive data connectors, you can pull data directly from the source. You don't have to wrangle with different versions because Power BI supports so many connectors, from Excel files to CSV to SQL databases, cloud, and even APIs. These are not just static options. Power BI can directly integrate them with the sources, and then letting you bring those data into Power BI. So think of it like having siloed spreadsheets combined into one unified model. With this one, you don't have to wrestle with versions, as we mentioned before, because data refresh happens automatically. Based on your setup, it can be daily, hourly, or even in real time. And this automation ends the need for tedious copy and pasting or file exports, ensuring you are always working with the latest numbers. We have the next one, which is clear and interactive visuals. Rows and columns, they don't impact us as much as visuals do. So Power BI brings data to life with responsive visuals. You want to check sales by region, by product, one click, a few drag and drops, you can do that. At the end of the day, this is a tool that helps you visualize data. It's not about who can make the flashiest chart. It's also about speed and convenience. Here's something extra. If you don't know, Power BI lets you personalize your view. If you want to see a chart differently, maybe you want to change the type, add a new filter, compare different calculations, you can do it yourself without having to ask the report creator. So if you like how it looks, you can save it as a personal bookmark and set it as your default view. So every time when you open up that same report, you will see what you have saved, your dashboard, your report with your preferences. You don't have to wait anymore, and you can see the information how you like it. We have security and personalization. So the common question is, if I share a report, does everybody see everything? In Power BI, the answer is no. So there are two main types of protection. One is RLS, role level security, which means who sees what. And then we have the second one, which is sensitivity labels, how the data stays protected. So with role level security, RLS, you can publish a single report, but each person only sees what they are allowed to or what is relevant to them. A sales representative only sees their own account, the manager sees their own region, and then the executive sees the full picture. You're all working from the same report, no duplicate files, no extra versions to maintain. And on top of that, Power BI supports sensitivity labels. These labels protect sensitive data like your personal identifiable information, financial information, and even if the report is exported or shared outside of Power BI, those labels or those sensitivity configurations follow them throughout in the Microsoft 365 environment, in Excel, in Outlook, or in Teams. The result? Your report stays secure, relevant, and trustworthy with access tailored to the person and the protection that follows everywhere it goes. We have collaboration and security. So think about how we usually share reports. Most commonly, it's emailing Excel files back and forth. worrying if somebody is looking at an outdated version, and spending hours trying to reconciling all those differences. Power BI changes all that with something called Power BI apps, where you can bundle a collection of reports and dashboards into one big shareable link that's easy for teams to access. So instead of juggling multiple files, users can click on one link or open one app, which is a curated, secure place for all the insights, all the reports that they need. Because Power BI integrates with Microsoft 365, you can embed these apps directly into Teams, into Outlook, and even you can share your report on your website. Everybody works from the same live data, and updates happen synchronously, automatically. You're not just sharing numbers anymore, you're sharing a single trusted source of truth that keeps everybody aligned and makes collaboration effortless. Our final one is advanced analysis and AI. So once you're comfortable with the basics, Power BI also opens the door to much deeper analysis. You can use drill through pages to move from a very high level overview to the fine details with just one click. And then there are also AI assisted visuals where Power BI can automatically highlight anomalies, uncover hidden patterns, or run decomposition trees and key influencer charts that help break down the results to their contributing factors. So instead of staring at spreadsheets, you have AI helping you find the why behind numbers. On top of that, we also have natural language queries, which means you can use plain English to talk to your data models. And then if they know what you're referencing, they will give you the answers immediately. The visual is called Q&A, meaning you can just type a question in, like show me sales of last quarter, and then Power BI will automatically generate that chart for you. Very fun. And now we'll just dive in and see what Power BI looks like the whole interface, and just go through how your data can be visualized in this Power BI. So here is a screenshot of a Power BI desktop interface. We will go through three main views here. So first, we have something called the report view, which is the one we have over here on the top left. I'll just use red. This is the report view, and in the report view is where you build your canvas. On the right-hand side, we have our data pane, which you can get your data from here. So every single time when you start a new project, you get data in first. You click on this one, choose your data sources, and then get your data in. Those data will appear in your data pane, and you will build your reports in the report view, which looks like this, and you can locate them here. The next one we have is how to create a visual. So I'm selecting on this visual right here, and you can see exactly how this visual is created. First thing, I have selected a template, which is this template right here. Selected a template. And then in my x-axis and my y-axis, I simply drag my column names from the data pane into those fields. And just like that, dragging and dropping, you get your visuals right away. This is consistent throughout. When you want to create a visual, this is how you do it. You select a template first, and then you drag and drop the columns that you want to include in your visuals. That's it for the report view. We'll move on to the next one called the table view. A table view, you can locate them right here. It's the second one under the report view icon. This is very simple. This is just a preview of the data that you have imported. So whatever table you're clicking on, they will show you a preview of all the columns you have. Table view is just for previewing data. Our next view, which is our most important view, our foundation of our whole Power BI project, is the model view. In model view, you will establish relationships between tables. And this is quite important because if those tables do not have a relationship between each other, you cannot access each other's data. So if you do not have a relationship, the only data you can access is your own only. So this is the place where we create relationships, linking all those tables together to create a bigger picture. And yeah, over here we have the properties pane where you can also create hierarchies and all that kind of stuff. That's it for the interface sharing part. Let me just give you a very quick demo of how we create visuals and how we can see automatic updates in Power BI. Also, how to secure our Power BI files or like Power BI data using static RLS, publish, create a very simple dashboard, and embed the whole thing in Teams. So that's what we're going to do. If you didn't catch it, I will just show it one by one, so no worries. Here's the end-to-end flow. Oops. Here's the end-to-end flow for every single project that you will do. First, you connect your data, you clean it, and then you will model for accuracy. Then you will build visuals. You will publish that to Power BI service, which is like a cloud platform for you to collaborate and access all these published reports. You can package it as an app when in Power BI service, and then you can embed that app in Teams. So we'll go through all this right now. Allow me to just get rid of this one. And we will check out our Power BI file. So again, this is the interface. I will get my data from an Excel file. So here's my Excel file. It's a very, very simple Excel file that has the machine codes recorded. When was the date these machines worked, and then how many hours did they work on that particular day. So it's ABC-123. ABC is like the model name, and then 123 is like the machine's ID. So I will use this very simple data set and then just go into Power BI and show you how it works. So going back to Power BI desktop, as we said, to begin every single project, you get data first. So get data, here are all of the data sources that are quite popular. Since mine is in an Excel file, I'll go for Excel workbook, and then I'll select on my Excel file. The navigator pane will pop up shortly. That will allow me to choose which sheet or which table do I want to import into Power BI. In this case, I only have one sheet, so I'm going to take that. I want to clean my data. That's why I'm going to the transform data button. I want to clean my data, and that's why it brings me to Power Query Editor. This is the place where you do all of your cleaning. I'll need to drag this one here. There we go. So this is Power Query Editor, the place where you clean your data. The fun thing about this one is whatever changes you have made here will be recorded in the applied steps you see on the right. So this allows us to we don't have to repeat our cleaning steps again and again when new data comes in. Allow me to show you how. So the only thing I will do in this table is just to remove the blank rows and then split this ABC-123 into two distinct columns. So I want it to be machine model and machine ID. I'll select on this one and go for split column by delimiter. I will split it using the dash, click OK. And then I have two different columns now. I will rename this very quickly, machine model and machine ID. Nice. I'll also get rid of the blank rows. Okay. The data type is all correct. The numbers look good. But you know what? This machine ID, because I won't be using it to make to do calculations, so I would change it to text for something safer. Once you're done with cleaning and everything is recorded here, as we can see in the applied steps, click on Close and Apply. This step allows you to push the cleaned data into Power BI. So once we're in Power BI, we can see our cleaned data on the right-hand side in our data pane. So if I were to go to my table view to do previewing, this is what I see, the cleaned data. To create a visual is super simple. You just have to go to a report view, and in your canvas, just select anywhere. Select the template you want from this selection of visuals you have. I will select a clustered bar chart because I kind of want to see how much time in total my machines have worked. So I'll expand my table, and then I'll just drag and drop machine ID. You could drag and drop straightforward into the template like that, or you could just go and be more intentional about it, drag it into the X or Y axis. There we go. Just like that, super fast. You have so much control, and then you know exactly where this goes. We can also do a little bit of formatting. Format, data labels. There we go. I will add another visual for a slicer. You must have known this already if you're working with Excel. This allows for interactivity for you to filter the stuff you want to see on your report itself. So machine models, I have these two, ABC, which I have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and then the EFG series. There we go. There's also another thing I want to show you. It's the Q&A, the natural query visual that we talked about just now, where you use simple English and then you type it in, and then Power BI just gives you the result. It looks like this over here, like a speech bubble. So you just click and then ask a question about your data. And you know what? Since this is a very simple data set, I'll just click total hours worked. I just want to see in total, how many hours did my machines work? 70 for machine models EFG series. If I like this visual, I can just click on this thing here. Turn this Q&A result into a standard visual. If I selected on it, there we go. I can use it as my regular visual. So if I click on ABC, this changes. EFG, this changes. And if I clear, I have a sum of 96 hours. So that's Q&A for you and how to create a very simple visual, just dragging and dropping while already selecting your template. I would like to show you another thing, the automatic update part. So when I go back to my source data, I would like to add new data. So let's just add to the same date, which is like tomorrow, August 22, 2025. I'll add this to ABC 1, 2, 3 and ABC 4, 5, 6. ABC 4, 5, 6. You know what? I'll just type it again. 4, 5, 6. There we go. I'll just assign them random numbers, 7 and 5. And then I'll click on Control Save. Control S. And then in my Power BI desktop, I'll go back to my table view. Of course, you see nothing yet, but I can just come to my Home tab and click on Refresh. Do we see how the data is also being included? I didn't have to go back to Power Query Editor and split the columns again. That they just automatically updated for me because my steps that I did just now was recorded in the applied steps you see on the right-hand side. So there you go. We have new data coming in. I don't have to do cleaning anymore. It's quite convenient and that saves you time. The next one we have is that security portion. I will do RLS static, which is quite manual, but you'll see why. For this one, yes, we have a slicer, but what if we have two different equipment maintenance team? We have some people on team ABC and some people on team EFG. So what I could do is just get rid of this slicer, and based on, let's say, your job role or like your assigned team, you will only be able to see what is relevant to you. That step is also quite straightforward. You just have to go to the modeling step, click on manage roles. And you know what? I've already set things up. Team ABC, let's see what roles I've defined for it. Let me go here. Okay, apparently I cannot see it right now. But I've set up two roles where I can test them like this. View as Team ABC. So I'll only be able to see Team ABC's data. Team ABC. No, we have to click on other user Team ABC. And then other user Team EFG. You know what? Maybe because I deleted my stuff just now, I'll just delete this and then I'll prove it again. Roles new. We have Team ABC over here. And then I'll filter on this table, click on new rules. If the machine model equals to ABC, then I want it. I'll save this one. Oh, it's used for a row. Never mind. It's used for a row. Some technical errors over here. Oh no. What is this? Apologies. Now viewing as team EFG. Okay. Things are going a little bit wrong here. But essentially what I want to say is, if you view as, you can test the roles before you proceed. Other users or team, you set up the rules and then you can test it out before you publish. Clearly, this one is not working right now. Let me try one last time before we move on to the next section. Team ABC, let's see. Well, it is not working as we like to. View as other user team. Okay, you know what? One last time, let me see. Let's use our ABC. New rules. Equals ABC. See. There we go. Okay. Next one, we have team EFG, but in this case, I'm not going to write the team over there. Machine model equals EFG. Save. We'll test it again, shall we? View as other user ABC. Group. There we go. This is what we want. So this is testing, and then you can see how based on different rules that you have applied, those viewers, when they access your report, they can only see what's relevant to them. Of course, you have to assign actual email addresses to the roles that you have created just now. So view as, in this view as part, it's just testing, so no worries. So EFG, we see all of these at 70. I don't have the slicer for them to choose, so I can guarantee a little bit of security on my part. And that's for RLS part, that's for security part. Once you're done with your report, you will publish it for sharing because you're done with your report. What good it is to keep it to yourself, right? To publish is super simple. You just have to click on this publish button that you can find in your home tab. Click publish, and this one will upload your stuff into Power BI service. So I'll just name this file as Pi, just for simplicity's sake. I will publish it to Power BI service, and I can choose which workspace to publish in. In this case, I'll publish it to my workspace. You have a my workspace if you're a free user, and that's your experimental playground. Or if you're a paid user, then you can have you can create your own workspace. So I'll select on that, publishing to Power BI service. We shall wait for a little while. And Power BI service, you can access it in your browser. Just have to type in Power BI service, and then there you go. I see my published report here. This is a report that we've published. If you want to create a dashboard, it's also super easy. There's two methods. You can either publish, you can either pin, the pin is a term for it. You can either pin this whole page to a dashboard, or you can select individual visuals to pin. So when we say pinning, it's creating a new dashboard or adding new things to a dashboard. In my case, I'll just go for the entire page, pin to dashboard, select existing dashboard or create a new dashboard. You could go for whichever. In this case, I'll just name my dashboard as machine. I'll pin live. And then over here, it'll tell me pinned to dashboard. I'll click on go to dashboard. There we go. We have a dashboard. And in this dashboard, because I am pinning live, I'm pinning the entire page. That's why I can have interactivity here. And then also we see how the cross-highlighting feature works. So that's for publishing and creating a dashboard. I want to show you how to publish stuff into an app, how you can bundle things into an app, and then embed it in Teams. So to create an app, for every workspace, you can create one app. And I've already created mine. So you know what? I'll just add this dashboard into my app. So in my workspace, JOLIE over here, I can click on update app. But I want to show you what is inside the app and how does it look like first. So I'll click on my Teams icon over here. Let me see how I can. You know what? Because Teams is being used for this webinar right now, I'll just switch to Outlook and show you how you can embed Power BI service into Outlook. It's a convenience feature And allow me to just open this up. All right, I have my Outlook over here. I've switched the emails so you don't see information. But yeah, this is Outlook. You can embed Power BI into Outlook. So if you go on the left-hand panel over here, there's more apps. So more apps, you can click on Power BI and you can embed the Teams, you can embed the app in Outlook or Teams. It's the same thing. You just have to go to your left-hand panel in Teams and then select app, get Power BI in, and then you can also have Power BI service in Outlook, in Teams. It's the same thing. So over here, you can choose, like you want to see apps in Power BI. And then I have my app over here. I click into it. And here is my collection of reports and dashboards. So I have all. So this is my first one, my second one, and my third one. You don't have to share links to your stakeholders one by one. You can bundle them together in this app that is meant to be mass distributed for reading purposes. So yeah, there's interactivity as well if you're publishing a report. But for now, I just have 3 things here. This report, and finally this report. The good thing about apps is that you can also set up audiences. So let's say I have this salesperson, a sales audience group. And then this salesperson, they can only see solution sales analysis. The sustainability department can only see carbon emissions. The maintenance department can only see equipment maintenance. I don't have to create multiple reports. I don't have to create multiple shareable links. I can just create them all in this app. I included all 3 of them here, but for my different audience group, I can choose who to have access. So I think this is a very cool thing about apps. And yeah, so let me just update my app from the Power BI service, and then we'll see how it goes. So I'm in my workspace over here, and I can click on Update App. So this is my app, and to create an app is just very simple. It's just 3 steps. Set up, give it a name, give it a description, choose your color, and then you will select your content. The content will be based on what you have in your workspace, in my Jolie's workspace. So maybe I could include this one, and I could include this one. Why not? So I click Add. There we go, High and Machine over here. And over here, I can choose my audience. So just now we talked about how for different audience group, you can limit their access on what they can or cannot see, right? So in this first tab, it's everything. This is a consolidated view based on the permissions that you have. And I have created like 3 different audience groups here. Sales, they can see 09 solution, but they cannot see the rest. In my sustainability, they can see carbon emissions. You see that the eye is switched on, is turned on, while the others are shut. Maintenance can see high, maintenance can see machine, and maintenance can see equipment maintenance number 2. They cannot see the first 2. Cool. So we can check. See, in sales, I can only see this one. If I try to click on carbon emission, they say I do not have access. And of course, this is just the setup. Over here, you can add entire organizations or specific groups or users into to have access to your app. Once you're done, click on Update App. Click on Update. The app is being published again. I can close this one for now. And let me go back to my Outlook and just hit refresh. Let's see if it included it in. There we go. High and machine is included here. There's no need to juggle multiple versions is what we're trying to say lah. So this is the Outlook version. You can do that in Teams. You can try it out yourself. But yeah, it's the same thing. You just hover. It's usually the last icon. When you see apps, and then you could try and embed Power BI into it. So you just have to go find Power BI. That's about it. That's it for the demo. I'll switch back to my points and we can continue. Allow me to go here. Right. So I hope I did share something that is useful for you, but that was just a very brief introduction of how it could go. But I hopefully showed you how automated refreshes and when you don't have to do manual work, how it can save you time. But at the end of the day, you think Power BI, when you are trying to onboard this new tool, it's easy to think, oh, here comes another reporting tool. It's just another tool in our toolbox. But adopting Power BI isn't just about getting a tool. It's also about building capacity and capability. So capability means you are feeling comfortable engaging with data and using it to guide your your decisions. And then other than capability, it's also about capacity across the organization. So capacity means that people at every level, from the frontline staff to manager to executives, you can work with the data at hand with ease. So think of it like having a GPS. That app doesn't remove traffic, but it can help you reroute and then give you time to arrive on time. Or like health checkups. They don't cure you, but they can flag the health issues early on before they become serious. Same thing happening in businesses. The data itself, they won't stop your business from having challenges, but it gives you the foresight to act before they become critical. So think of it this way. If we only bring in a tool, we might get a few dashboards, maybe automate a report here and there. But if we build capacity and capability, suddenly this impact is multiplied. The staff who is entering data, they understand why consistency matters. So data quality improves from the get-go. Business users, you don't have to wait for reports anymore because you are equipped with this knowledge. You can explore trends yourself. Analysts don't have to spend most of their time preparing the data. They can move on to higher value tasks like forecasting and optimization. And leaders, they don't have to guess, oh, is this correct? Because they trust the source and the process itself. And I think this is the real value at the end of the day. Power BI becomes less about the software and more about creating this confident culture. And this tool is just the enabler. The real change is how you think, how you collaborate, and how decisions get made. So yes, adopting Power BI gives us dashboards and visuals, but more importantly, it equips us with the mindset, skills, and confidence to turn raw numbers into business insights. And when we invest the time, the talent, the skills, the knowledge to use our tools effectively, we're creating this culture where insights are shared, reports are automated, collaboration can happen in real time, and everybody is empowered to act with confidence. And that's building capacity, from moving away from reactive reporting to proactive, more insight-driven action. That's why this matters. Almost done. So today we've talked about the common pain points of traditional reporting. We've seen how Power BI connects to your data sources, how it automates refreshes, builds interactive dashboards, and makes sharing seamless. So here's a little tip to get started. You take a report or a chart that you already use in Excel, something simple and familiar, like a sales by region pivot chart, or an attrition by month trend line. Then you recreate that exact same visual in Power BI. So this way you will have a very clear reference point. You know what the results should look like, and you can compare it side by side. And very quickly, I hope you can notice the difference, how much faster it is to create visual, how much cleaner it looks, how much control you have over the design choice, and how easy it is to filter or drill into details without having to rebuild the entire report. So starting this way gives you confidence because you're not learning in the abstract. You are building on something that you already know. And once you've done one chart, best believe it becomes easier to expand to a full-fledged dashboard. So no need to wait for the perfect project to dive in. Start with what you already have in Excel, recreate it in Power BI, and let that be your first step. We are almost ending, but it's not stopping me from repeating a gentle reminder. Power BI is only as good as the data it receives. If the input is incomplete, if it's inconsistent, or worst of all, inaccurate, the insights will reflect that. Garbage in, garbage out. And that's why the data collection process, the way data is entered and maintained, should not be neglected also. On the positive side, if we keep records accurate and up to date, make sure that it is standardized and consistent. You're not just feeding a system with data, you're directly reducing manual work later. So the effort you put up front pays you back by saving you hours of tedious work down the line. When dashboards become reliable, decisions are now based on facts you can trust. And also, this is where data literacy makes the difference. It's not about knowing formulas or just generating reports. It's about spotting when numbers don't add up, asking the right questions about where the data came from, and knowing how to respond. Power BI goes beyond being a simple reporting tool. It requires you to apply and build on data fundamentals so you can engage with ease with this data. And that's the full picture. Strong data discipline combined with data literacy with the right tools. Untapped data in your organization stops being a burden and can start becoming one of our most powerful business assets. So together, they ensure we're not just collecting numbers, but truly creating insights that we can trust and act on. So also sneaking in a fitting thought to you and also to remind myself, don't let unfamiliarity scare you off. Through practicing and experimenting, I hope you can find reporting genuinely more rewarding for you, for your team, and your organization. And that's all from me for now. See ya. Back to you,
Wow,
Kosila. Thank
that
you.
was, yeah. Thank you so much, Jolie. That was a lot of information to unpack after this webinar, to be honest. Kind of feeling overwhelmed because it was my first time seeing the Power BI interface and it's pretty complicated, I'm gonna lie, maybe because I'm a newbie at this. Maybe later on I will just go ahead and rewatch the YouTube link so that I could understand what's happening. Or maybe you know what, instead of the YouTube link, I think I'll just go and sign up for this course right now and you can teach me directly on what Power BI is. You can guide me directly. Since I'm not qualified for the Yayasan Peneraju scholarship, I think I will go for the promotion. Okay, so I did see a bunch of questions coming up in the chat box. Didn't want to interrupt your demo session, so let's check them out. So the first question that we have is, hold on, it was regarding the demo session that you had earlier. I think maybe it was like towards the beginning. So Emily's question is, may I know why need to split the machine code into two columns?
Why do I need to split the machine code into two columns? Because that one gives me additional flexibility to analyze things based on their model and their ID. So you don't have to be, restricted to only one sort of data.
Okay, Emily, I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, please comment and maybe Jolie can give you a bit, more further explanation regarding that. Okay, the next question is by Mahazir Tajuddin. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly. Can the clean data being exported back to Excel?
Can the clean data be exported back into Excel? Fun fact, Power BI query also exists in Excel. So you can do data cleaning in Excel as well. Power Query Editor exists in both Power BI and Excel. And then for the modeling view that we saw just now, where you are establishing relationships between tables in the model view, that one is Power Pivot in Excel. So there you go.
Okay. Next up is what is the certification exam format like? Multiple choice questions or performance-based questions or combination of both?
For the exam itself, it is pure objective, but they will require you to, I like to say, see Power BI in your head. So you need to know where to click, what to click, and then why do you need to click this. They will give you scenario-based questions, but it's all objective. So it's all multiple choice. No worries. They won't ask you to do lab.
Okay, that's reassuring because lab kind of sounds pretty overwhelming. Like, if you're just a beginner just enrolling to the course and then next up you just have to sit for the lab exam. Okay, so the next question is hold on. All right. By Kavitran, is it possible to transfer SQL data into Power BI?
Yes, sir, it is. Because it's one of the most popular sources out there, definitely. You just have to go find what database are you using? Are you using Postgre? Are you using MySQL, SQL Server? You can choose from there.
Okay, that's great. All right, so everyone is very happy with your explanation. Everyone appreciates it. So I just want to let you know it's all over the comment section. Okay, I have one more question. Do we need to master SQL before going through Power BI? Can Power BI stand alone as one data interpretation tool?
Do we need to master SQL before? Because I am assuming that since you are in databases, your data volume would be a lot. So if you have SQL, if you have SQL knowledge, and then you know how to like not just import everything in one shot, because that one can burden Power BI a lot. So with SQL knowledge, you can, section off like maybe this is the part that I want to analyze in Power BI first. So with that, maybe it will help lah. But you don't have to master SQL to start with Power BI. This one is a data visualization tool. So yeah, from after you do the visualization, then you can do your analysis lah.
All
I think
right.
Rachel
Thank
has
you.
her hand raised.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask if Miss Rachel Lee Si Yan, do you have any question to ask Miss Jolie? Okay, maybe they accidentally left it
Yeah.
clicked on. So
No
oh,
worries.
no questions. Okay, thought so, it was an accident. Okay, no worries, no worries. We are actually reaching the end of our session since nobody has any more questions. But maybe if you do have further and you would like to maybe get a one-on-one session with Miss Jolie, that's totally fine as well. Please do WhatsApp us at 012-641-2009, and later we will forward the question to Miss Jolie. All right. All right. So that's all, everyone. Goodbye. I hope you have a great day today. See you in our next webinar as well. And maybe catch you at the live later too.
Thank you for the session. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.